Well, this was, of course, discussed by the editorial team, by management, on what would be the perfect program title, to end CNN Philippines News Day. So we all came up with this title, The Final Word with Rico Hizon, because basically it encapsulates, it summarizes what happened during the day, in terms of hard news, in terms of international news, business news, sports, and features. Because, every night we always take a look at the hard stories and provide our viewers around the country and those who are watching us on social media around the world, multiple points of view from here locally and around the world. So we are a local news program, global and local.
Right.
So we can bring our viewers here and abroad, news that they can use and news that they can trust. So if you take a look at the program, it's 45 minutes and it's divided into several segments. And the first segment is all about the hard news, the newsmakers. You have politics, COVID-19, things that happened on the day itself. And we have analysts to break down each and every story, whether it be in politics or health or the economy. And then the second segment, we focus on international news, because we are part of this huge global community, and we cannot set aside how global events impact you and me and every Filipino, every kababayan here in the Philippines. For example, COVID-19, right? The vaccines, and now the developments taking place in Ukraine and Russia, impacting global oil prices and commodity prices. These have all an impact on you and me here in the Philippines. And then we cover, of course, business news and financial news, how international developments and local developments impact the markets, our foreign exchange, the Philippine peso against the US dollar and other currencies, and the stock market. But it's not all about hard news. We also want to inspire a lot of Filipinos, because all the stories are not really depressing. There are a lot of inspirational and aspirational stories around the country. So we interview a lot of inspiring role model guests in our final segment. And to cap off the final word, we always end it with a positive and uplifting quote. So when we end the show, it's a quote from a famous Filipino personality or an international personality saying something inspiring about the day's news or the final interview of the final word. The target market of this show basically is across the board, from the A and the B markets to the C, D, E. And what's really surprising is that a lot of people across the board, across all demographics, from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, watch the final word with Rico Hizon. And it's not only that, on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, where we go live. We're watched all over the world, in the United States, in Europe, and in other Asia Pacific countries. So it's really the final word cuts across all demographics, and even foreigners, non-Filipinos, and Filipinos who are living abroad. Politics, religion, COVID-19, these are the hot topics and the top stories that we cover on a daily basis. And of course, in the Philippines, the elections are coming up on May 9th. We interview various personalities on the final word, and there will always be opinion makers out there who are watching us on television and on social media, who will always have their views and insights on different issues of the day. So, I mean, politics, COVID, graft and corruption, violence, will always attract viewers to the program, and of course, a lot of feedback and opinions from people all over the world and from various parts of society. Well, it's great. You know, I have here with me the Asian Television Awards for Best News Program. And I have here with me the Asian Television Awards for Best News Anchor. What an honor indeed, from the Asian Television Awards and from the Board of Judges, to recognize the final word with Rico Hizon and CNN Philippines for this categories. It's no joke. It's not an easy journey to win these twin awards in the same year, right? I mean, I've known a lot of my colleagues in the industry who have won Best News Program, and others have won Best News Anchor. But for the final word and for CNN Philippines to win the double is really an honor and a privilege. And it is a very humbling experience. And it inspires every member of CNN Philippines and the final word to work harder to give our viewers, not only in the Philippines but around the world, you know, news that you can truly use and news that you can truly trust. Because here at CNN Philippines, we report fair, balanced news to all our viewers around the world.